So anyway, it's looks like Chris is in the house. And how are you, Chris?
All right, how are you?
Good. It was another eventful evening. So
yeah, I heard a little bit about it. I didn't watch, but I heard a little bit.
It's like I don't know I don't know if I should be paranoid or not. It was like it seemed like last 3 weekends or 4 weekends, it's like something's gone wrong, gone wonky. So anyway, I'll get out of your hair. Have a good show, and we'll see you next weekend. Bye, everybody.
Good show. Welcome, everyone. We're going to have a fun, fulfilled, continue the show tonight here with Your Voice, Your Call. And tonight we are, I was checking on it. We're rounding on to our season 2 right here in PSP. Pretty excited. I was looking back through the archives. There were 6 episodes missing. So there's still like roughly another month. So, but we're going to have some fun tonight with season 2 with a brand new opener. I'm going to play that momentarily. I want to get everybody's opinion on it, your thoughts, your feedback, and tell me what you think. And tonight, Sunny is taking a little hiatus, so she won't be on with us. So filling her shoes, which is a big chore, is Indie News. Derek, how are you this evening?
Good Saturday night, Chris. And yeah, just as you mentioned, yeah, those are some big shoes to fill for sure.
Oh, yeah. So I'm so glad that she needs to take a break. She's got some things going, but she will be popping in probably every so often or on chat. So let me start this new opener, and I want to get everybody's opinion. This is really good. I really enjoy it. Season 2's fresh new opener. Tell me what y'all think. And we will be back momentarily with Your Voice, Your Call.
As we move through space on this blue marble we call Earth, a future of uncertainty, we're being censored and told what we can and cannot do. There is a voice amongst all. For all of us, that voice is.
So there we go. Season 2's opener. What does everybody think? Derek, what'd you think of that?
It's catchy, and the voiceover in there sounds so familiar.
Oh, did it? Oh. Yes, also left a little spot where I can add, where I can verbally say right over it what guests we have, add a co-host, whatever we could do. So I wanted everybody to get a taste of that, see what they thought. And if you enjoy it, I have a new ending too that I will do later on the show. So yeah, thanks to everybody out there. We love you all being on. Vigilance, hello, crisscross, everybody. I hope you like it. It's kind of a little airy, smooth, fun little thing. And anyhow, great. So we are starting off a little earlier for season 2, and I hope Thumper saw that because I want to get his opinion on that too later. Anyhow, tonight we have some fun things we're going to tackle, a few interesting stuff. Of course, another what's grinding my gears, and Derek's got some good information on the national level in a race that he was talking to me about a little earlier, and we'll tap into that. Derek, what's going on with that right now?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I was texting you earlier about this. I put an article up a couple weeks ago on indienews.org, and it was highlighting some of the upcoming Senate, U.S. Senate, U.S. House races, special elections / runoffs, and one today. People that may not be aware of this, there was two today, both taking place down in the great state of Louisiana, and that is in congressional districts 2 and 5. Now, Congressional House District 2, the reason why they had to have a special election today was due to the November 17th, 2020 resignation of member of Congress in that particular district, Cedric L. Richmond, because he became the senior advisor to the illegitimate President Biden and the White House public engagement director. And then in Congressional House District 5 in the great state of Louisiana, that seat was open. Well, it was filled back in the November election, but the untimely death on December 29th, 2020 of Congress-elect Luke Letlow was the reason that seat became open. Now, if you look up, and I think it's on the left-hand corner, I have a in real time, as the votes start coming in, Louisiana closed. They opened their polls today at 7 a.m. and they ran until 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So that would be for us Northeasterners or Easterners. The polls closed around 9 p.m. And like I said, I have real time live data coming in. It'll update every 2 minutes up in the top left-hand corner. Now, I know it's tough to see, but the first item, the first bit of data is in the 2nd Congressional District. Now, keep in mind, these two congressional districts, if no candidate receives a majority of 50% of the vote plus one, there would be an April 24th runoff between the two top vote getters in each of these districts. Now, in the first district, or the first bit of data that you see, is a U.S. representative in the 2nd Congressional District. And as of right now, 252 out of 657 precincts are reported, and the top vote getter is Democrat Troy Carter with 40%, and following him in second is Karen Carter Peterson at 25%. So if this was to stay, like I just mentioned, and Troy Carter gets under 50%, well, in April 24th to be exact, there would be a special runoff in the 2nd Congressional District in Louisiana between the two top vote getters, which currently would be Troy Carter, again at 40%, which equivalates to 20,669 votes. And next would be another Democrat, Karen Carter Peterson, at 25%, which equates to 12,898 votes. Now, the district that I was more interested in and caught my eye more is the next data, which is the 5th Congressional District. Now, the reason why the 5th Congressional District caught my eye, if people remember a couple weeks ago, particularly March 10th, 2020, President Donald J. Trump put out an endorsement for Julia Letlow, which is the wife of the late, and the name just escapes me, Luke Letlow. If you remember correctly, President Trump put out a statement. Julia Letlow, a wonderful and talented person who is the widow of U.S. Representative-elect Luke Letlow, is running for Congress in Louisiana's 5th at the urging of so many people who know her so very well. She's pro-life, strong on crime, the border, loves our military, our vets, and will always protect our cherished Second Amendment. Julia is so outstanding. She has my complete and total endorsement. The great state of Louisiana will be thrilled. Now, if you look, like I said, I just may have updated here again. Julia Letlow is the individual that has the blue bar beside her name. And I know that's tough to read, but as of right now, out of 512 precincts out of 825, Chris, have reported, and the same 50% plus one rule applies here. Julia Letlow is at 62% of the vote, which equivalates to 44,470 votes. The next vote getter is Sandra Christopher, a Democrat, at 29%, which equivalates to 20,780 votes. So if Julia Letlow continues to stay at this pace, at 512 of 825 precincts have reported, as long as she stays at or above that 50% threshold, Julia Letlow is going to be the next one to fill the House of Representatives, Louisiana's 5th congressional district, and that helps the GOP become one step closer in catching the left in the House, which would be 220 to, I believe, 212.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see you got it up there. It is kind of hard to see it, but and this is pretty significant, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. These two seats obviously need filled. One was vacated again in District 2 in Louisiana due to the individual that was in there, Cedric Richmond, becoming a part of the Biden regime. And then in District 5, like I mentioned, the untimely and unpassing of Congress-elect Luke Letlow. So it's kind of poetic justice in a way that his wife, the widow Julia Letlow, was the one that put her name in the ring and is currently winning by a wide margin. Again, she has 62%. As long as she keeps that pace up, she's going to be over that 50% plus one threshold, and she will be Congress-elect Letlow.
And that's what we need. We need to keep this going. Get the Republicans to try to take back our House.
Right. I text you this as well. The reason why I didn't pay much attention to Congressional District 2 in Louisiana, because that is and you'll understand what I'm going to say here, a plus 25 district. So that's why I didn't really pay much attention to Congressional District 2, because the left has such a strong, firm hold on District 2. But looking at District 5, and I sent you this information as well, Congressional District 5 in Louisiana is plus 15 for Republicans. So I knew the Republicans had a better chance in running, obviously, in District 5. Than they do obviously winning District 2. And I would imagine it doesn't hurt Julia Letlow, again, who has 62%. Not only was she endorsed, like I mentioned, by President Trump, she is also endorsed by Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. And then she also was endorsed by National Pro-Life as well.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about her. I'm glad you informed me about her and whatnot. And I was trying to pull up something on that, but you already covered it. So nice there, man. He stays on top of this, everybody.
I have found, and I'm not revealing anything here. If you go to Ballotpedia, they do a tremendous job in covering candidates, individual candidate pages, and then also too, and this may be something people don't know, but if you go to, and I was directed to this page when I was looking for something else, if you go to the Green Papers, all one word, thegreenpapers.com, they are up to date every day with new candidates filing in doesn't matter what race.
Okay, nice. Okay, well, I'm going to put that in my bookmark, and that way I can peek at that stuff. It drops those little hints for us. I like that. All right, so we will keep our eye on that race. If something new develops during the show, pop up, let us know, and we'll hit that out there. So one article I wanted to bring up, which I thought was kind of interesting, and came across this, posted it on the page, and I really thought this was actually interesting because in Deb's show, she mentioned a little bit about CNN. Hopefully it's going downhill and whatnot, and we're going to wrap our brains around this. But this came out, and it made me stop and think for a moment. Derik, CNN paid an Antifa And then I'm going to do the famous wraparound here in a little bit too. Paid the Antifa agitator charged over Capitol riots. So we got CNN paying Antifa to add to the riot. Well. Does that mean CNN's hands caught in the cookie jar? So
actually, believe it or not, not only CNN, but there was another news outlet, and I have to refresh myself on the case. But I believe, I know for at least for CNN, $25,000 is what they paid this Antifa activist for his video footage. Now it's interesting, and I don't know how many people work that listen to the channel or the show that work in the journalism video field. But I can tell you, and I've got this confirmed, that you may get paid for a piece that you do by a news outlet $1,200 to $1,500, not $25,000 like this douchebag did.
Yeah, that's why I believe he was paid to add these riots, because the far left Black Lives Matter agitator who was charged by federal authorities for his role in the 6 Capitol riots was paid thousands by Trump news, anti-Trump news network CNN and NBC. Bombshell documents have revealed the documents of justice confirmed that prominent BLM activist John Sullivan was arrested by the FBI and charged with inciting the deadly riot at the Capitol. I wonder if I've been saying all along, I wonder if Pelosi had any part to help on that. Sullivan, Utah-based BLM organizer and the founder of the far-left group Insurgents USA, was charged after federal investigators obtained videos showing him urging protesters to become violent and destroy property while he was inside the Capitol. Sullivan was already placed in the center of the riots after he uploaded videos of the events on social media. The activist claimed he was just there to document the violence. With video footage obtained by the FBI, Sullivan can allegedly be heard egging on protesters, according to the criminal complaint. Now the court findings show Sullivan received large cash payments from outlets that have been pushing the narrative that President Donald Trump incited the violence. And then here's the actual court by no, wait a minute. I just had that. Anyhow, yeah, my thing's going slow today, Derek. But yeah, he is being charged with inciting violence and was paid by none other than CNN and NBC to do so. This does not surprise me, believe it or not. I think more and more is going to come out as it goes on. Now, let me ask everybody out there, do you think people of America who have believed all along that President Trump was involved are now going to go, maybe he wasn't involved? I don't know. I would like to see people start, admitting they were wrong. But I don't see it happening. What do you think, Derek? I don't think it's going to happen, but I am really surprised at this, and I think I want to follow this to see what unfolds. I think this is important.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know that this gentleman, John Sullivan, if memory serves me correctly, was released on bond, and like I said at the beginning, not only did CNN, but the other news agency right now escapes me as to who paid him for his video footage. And if I may break a little bit of breaking news, just as we predicted, out of 615 out of 825 precincts have reported in Congressional District 5. And first of many, congratulations now goes out to Congresswoman-elect Julia Letlow. That race has now been called, with her having 62% of the vote, which equivalates to 50,336 votes. So again, poetic justice. And I hate to see people, especially a husband or wife, pass so early. But her husband, who just got elected again this past November, Luke Letlow, had complications from the COVID-19 virus, ended up passing because of that. She, as in Julia, runs for the vacated seat, and tonight can now be reported that she is now Congresswoman-elect Letlow.
All right. And President Trump endorsed her, correct? So guess what? This is going to be it's the milestone that we definitely need to have sitting in those.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only did President Trump endorse her, but like I mentioned, Louisiana Senator John Kennedy endorsed her as well, and then the National Pro-Life Organization endorsed her as well. So it wasn't a shock to anyone. It was predicted that she was going to win this seat, but the Republicans are now gaining another seat there in the House of Representatives as their march to retake the House back in 2022.
Yeah, I'm all for this and all tickled about this. Now, so let's keep an eye on that, and let's hope that it keeps building, and then we take everything back and kick these Democrats in the ass right outside of their seats and out in the front lawn and tell them goodbye over everything they're pulling. I can't stress how important this is. I hope everybody out there, yes, if they're in chat, good news. Yeah. Yeah, we got to give her kudos to that. Glad she did it, and let's keep an eye on that. Now, I'm sure everybody has seen this. I mean, I have. You know me. I like to rip into the almighty fool in office who's not in there legitimately, and we've seen this. I believe in karma. I think Derek believes in karma to some degree too. When you go and pick on somebody before, like President Trump, he was coming out of the plane and slipped on wet steps one time, and everything was fine. Biden picked on him, right? So, whoa, karma sure knows how to bite people in the ass, and I'm sure everybody out here, come on, y'all, you've seen this, and I'm going to show you something else with this, but here is the fool. You know, he's falling. Man, my feed's low. He falls. He fell 3 times during that. Yeah, let's show that 3 times. And back up. So there's 1, 2, 3. He fell 3 times. I mean, I'm glad he didn't fall down all the way down and hurt himself. I mean, I pick on this poor sap a lot, and I don't want him to fall down and hurt himself, right? So. Lo and behold, the White House come out and try to say he fell because of the wind. Now, if this frail old man can't handle a little bit of wind, he's asking to stay inside, right? But, Derek, I found footage of what really happened. I found inconclusive, unequivocal proof of what really happened to him when he fell down those stairs. I really did, and I was really impressed to find this. I don't know if you found this or anybody else knows this, but here's what really happened. I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
I don't know if you monitored social media last night, but the memes were running, as Hulk Hogan would say, we're running wild last night. Not only did you have that, but I don't know if you've seen the new stairs that the U.S. government has now purchased for illegitimate President Joe Biden to go up now. It has a seat on it, so it's stair like lift. A stair lift, exactly. Yep. And yeah, they want to talk about the wind. Well, you go back and look at the weather report last week from where he was taking off from. The wind was at a slight breeze, so that's not it at all. But interesting that you bring up Joe Biden's past not his past falls, but him making fun of President Trump when President Trump was talking about it. How wet the stairs were at one of the naval academies in 2020. Well, let's flash back a little bit. I know there's a story just posted a couple hours ago on indienews.org, and of course I have to scroll down to find it. But Joe Biden, like you touched on, stumbled and fell while climbing the stairs to Air Force One. Remember, in flashback, this isn't the first time Joe Biden has had trouble keeping his footing ascending to the stairs aboard a presidential plane. All you have to do is go back a little over a month ago on February 8th. This comes again from the Gateway Pundit. Joe Biden stumbled upon climbing a shorter set of stairs than what are usually given to the president while climbing Air Force One. And this happened on a C-32 plane. I don't know how familiar you are with those, at the Newcastle National Guard Air Base in Delaware on a return flight to the White House. So all you got to do is go back to February 8th when Joe Biden fell on the stairs on a shorter set of stairs.
Well, in chat, they're saying maybe they changed the stairs to mess with them. And although, Derek, I did find this. I thought this was kind of interesting because this could explain it a little bit, maybe. I posted this on my personal page. Maybe that's what he slipped on. Catching that?
That could very well be the case as well.
This guy, Gary Varville, is a phenomenal artist and political artist, and he puts out some great stuff. And so, yeah, I think we can safely say that maybe that's what he slipped on, and the cameras just didn't catch it. I mean, the memes were brutal. Okay, now don't get me wrong. I'm going to pick on this fool as long as he's in office. I don't want to see him fall down and get hurt and break legs. I don't want to see that, but we're going to have fun with this guy. And I'm telling you what, if he's really so frail and so delicate and whatnot, if I was Jill, I'd be taking him home and saying, look, enough's enough for treating my husband like this. I think it's coming to that. I mean, he's standing up and challenging Russia now, calling him a murderer. And so, Russia's like, well, let's have a one-on-one talk. Do you think that's going to happen? I don't see it happening because he can't even talk without a teleprompter in front of him or somebody speaking in his ear. So that's not going to work. So how are they going to do that, everybody?
Well, on Pirate Radio, we touched on this last night. How bad does it make, obviously, the United States look when Joe Biden can call out and make the comment that he made about Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, and then the Russian president counters by saying, okay, let's have a live debate. And the best answer the Biden regime can come back and give President Putin is that, well, Joe Biden doesn't have time in his schedule right now to fit you in, but he does have time to fit in George Stephanopoulos.
Yeah, come on now. Something's wrong with that, everybody. Really? You don't have time to talk to another world leader because you called him out, basically, calling him a killer. And you got time to talk to some fool. Something's not right here. I got a bad feeling we're at the right moment right now. We're ripe for the picking. Somebody is going to push a button and see what happens. I really think it's going to happen. He's calling him out. Then he doesn't even want to talk to him. It's like, and he's hiding behind the gate like a little kid. If you're going to stand up and try to call someone out being a killer, you better be prepared to sit and chat with this guy and deal with it. You're our leader. Well, he's not a leader. I can't say that, Derek. What? I cannot say that. But you are supposedly represented to be our leader, and you can't even back up what you're saying because you won't talk to him. But like Derek just said, but you have time to talk to some fool.
Well, think about this. We had a previous administration in the Trump administration that all the talking head news pundits predicted that the previous administration would be in a war their first week in office. Well, we're 4+ years out from that administration, and we're still not in a war. But now Joe Biden, the illegitimate president, and his regime have been in office exactly 2 months. And just like you mentioned, we could be one false move away from World War III.
Yep. And that's what I'm expecting to happen. And it's just kind of surprises me. Now, let's kind of move on here for just a moment because Derek's words are illegitimate. I've got a great video, a little clip, where this is not the first time, not even the second time, that Biden has not only called the whole president, okay, but in the video, he is even calling Trump president. And I'm sitting here going, one, is he telling us something? Is he feeding us? Is he letting us know, on to something? Two, he knows who the real president is. He knows who the real president is. So let's take a listen to this. What's up? What do you got there? You're right. I thought you were about to say something. Oh, so let's take a listen to this because this, yeah, oh my goodness. I tell you, I'm never going to run out of material. So here we go.
The hardest hit and suffered the most, especially Black, Latino, Native American, and rural communities. This is really important because we believe that speed and efficiency must be matched with fairness and equity. Now, when President Harris and I took a virtual tour of a vaccination center in Arizona not long ago, one of the nurses on that tour, injecting people, giving vaccinations, said that each shot was like administering a dose of hope. A dose of hope. That's how she phrased it. Behind these 100 million shots are millions of lives changed.
You notice, though, how quickly he caught himself after he said it. You know, he stumbled for a moment. He quickly catches himself and says, you know, after he says President Harris, he catches himself, then he's back on track. I'm wondering, though, did somebody sit there and cue him, or did he, you know, did he catch himself? A similar video, because he's talking to, and I'm pulling it up, he's talking about President Trump, and he says it. If President Trump would tell people to take the vaccine, if President Trump would say it. And along with that, this, now I was trying to find out when this one was said. Jewish Deplorables put this out. And Derek, I couldn't find the timeline when she said this, but I think it was very recent. But even her.
A Harris administration together with Joe Biden. A Harris administration together with Joe Biden.
I mean, are they telling us something, Derek? Are they telling us that who the real president is?
Yeah, I believe that was put out during the campaign, and just by looking at the background, or if that was during the period between the election and the inauguration. But anywho, you know, I've said this on the Common Sense Show and other shows that I've been on. The left isn't afraid, and they don't hide what they want to do. All you have to do is just pay attention. They are not hiding what they want to do. You know, you think back to when Joe Biden was deciding what female he wanted to pick for his running mate. And what was the exact words that he used? Whoever I pick, she needs to be ready to be president in day one. So right there, gaff right off the bat. And then how many times, not only on the campaign trail, but now after the inauguration, has Joe Biden referred to Kamala Harris as President Harris. So, you know, it's weird what's going on in the White House. From what I'm understanding, there's not a lot of movement going around in the halls of the White House. And you look at the Oval Office, you look at the backdrop there, and there's not a lot of commemorative pieces, art, historical art, so on and so forth. So yes, you know, the left isn't afraid to hide what they want to do. It's just a matter of paying attention and knowing what to look for.
I agree, and I think Chad's agreeing too with you there, because Crisscross put maybe she's hesitant because she knows that Pelosi would probably push her side and become president. I mean, that would be an interesting thought if they knock Joe out, put her up, and then Pelosi, oh, no, I want to be president because she's a greedy bitch. Bitch anyways, you know. So that could be an interesting thought. I mean, because she was pushing the 25th Amendment initially on Trump, and then said, oh, no, that's for Biden. But now...
Well, she never said it was for Biden, but if you think back, President Trump made a statement kind of along those same lines. One of his last times visiting the border down there in Texas, where he told the media, he said, you know, the 25th Amendment talk, that's not for me. But that's going to come back to haunt Joe Biden, and as we see it today, how right is President Trump as of right now? You know, it hasn't officially come out and said that they're going to, as in to 25th Amendment Joe Biden, but it looks like that's where it's headed.
Well, I remember seeing an article or something that says something about Pelosi had mentioned Biden's name, but I think she was pushing it on Trump initially. I think that it was that way, but it does make you stop and wonder what's going on. And we always talk about media fake and media hype and media trying to make him look good. And this, I saw this on another post, shared over to my personal page. And as you watch this, Derek, we know the media fakes things constantly, right? We know this happens. Did this here at all make anybody think, oh, heck, it's kind of hard for me to blow this up. Give me a second. And let me show it again. So, whoopsie daisy. Now, yeah, everybody's looking at my page. Yeah. Okay, now, did anybody else see this? It's kind of hard. It won't let me. There it goes. Look how his hand goes. See that? Does it look like it's overlapping that mic? Right there. Does it look like it's layered? Now, coming from when I do video and things, this looks like it's a layered picture of mics on top of an old, like a video of him, but they layered these mics because look at that. It's like all of a sudden he's kind of over it. That look kind of funny to you?
Well, I mean, you know, we could nitpick through this, but without actually being there, to me, you could be having illegitimate President Biden could be standing X amount of feet away from the cameras and the microphones that the media has out there set up, and it could look like or give the illusion that he's doing that, but it's just the distance that he is away from the media.
Okay, I'll give you that as a possibility. I mean, I put it out there for everybody to check it out because it looks really weird and really suspicious. And with that, why isn't the media covering this? Because as we're talking about media, that's why I'm jumping on this because it kind of is flowing like this. Why isn't the media talking about this? Okay, and I did look this up, and I'm trying to find another source to try to do a double validation. If anybody can help us here. Did he revoke the $250 million of the United Negro College Fund that Trump pledged to give to historical colleges for the next 10 years, black colleges? Still think Biden isn't racist? 45 EOs are counting. All he is doing is hurting Americans. So did this happen? Does anybody know this for sure? I'm kind of wondering.
Indie News does have a account on CloudHub, because I'm believing that's where you pulled that from.
Yep.
I have not seen anything like that, and I have not seen anyone else in the independent journalistic scene or journalism scene pull that and run with that as well, because I would imagine if there is some truth to that, then the independent journalists, the Matt Couches, the Patrick Howleys, Raheem Kassams, et cetera, would take and run with that, obviously.
Well, I sent it out to some media people to find out because I want to throw it out there because anybody in chat has seen it. Anybody else might know? Or is there another link I'm missing? Because it does make me stop to think, if it is true, they're doing it behind our backs. They're doing it without, obviously hiding it. And I remember Trump was allocating that kind of money to that. So I am actually sitting here wondering now. So it's making me go, it wouldn't surprise me if it's true at all. We see what he's been doing. I mean, look what he did when he first 2 days. I mean, done, everything Trump did, So this would not surprise me if this was included in that. Maybe he didn't know, or maybe he didn't care. I don't know. I am trying to find out. So don't hold me to that just yet, everybody. I am trying to find out if it is legit. And if anybody out there knows, let me know, because that's big if he is going to revoke that. And the African-American population, who some did vote for him, should be going, what the hell? And so there again, if you're sitting there realizing, we just got screwed, you don't feel bad. You're not the only ones. And I'm about to show you why. Oh, wait, where did it go? Give me a second here. For some reason, my computer's going slow tonight, so bear with me, everybody. Anyhow, so is it on this one or is it on mine? It is on, it's on the other one. All right, so if this is true, if this stuff is happening, then it goes back down to right where we at, and well, hell, I just had it. I apologize, everybody, and where'd it go? And well, yeah, where it falls back on people. This one, we just kind of floored me because it's like he's going back on every promise he said. All right, everything he said he was going to do, he's going back on. Now, Biden endorsing union furious, warns workers for plans to move new production to Mexico. We're going back. They're going to move things back. My thing's going slow today. So American labor's unions keep leaning the hard way that a vote for Democratic politician is often a vote for job-killing policies. Flashback, April 2019, 400,000 strong United Auto Workers unified, proudly endorsing then candidate Biden. In this dangerous and difficult times, the country needs a president who will demonstrate clear, stable leadership, less partisan, and more balance to the rights and protections of working Americans. UAW President Gamble said in a statement at the time, we need folks with a steady hand, empathy, and intelligence to be able to do the job. The current healthcare and economic crisis that has been caused by the lie has shifted us into a new way of living. We need strong leadership that guides us, not confuses us. Vice President Joe Kareem added in a statement of his own a couple months later. Note the UAW and the three vice presidents, including Cindy Estrada and Terry Ditties, last September, claimed Biden was very grounded in the struggles that the members and the families were facing. Yet, and here's that, which I should remember this a little bit. But now in office, appears that the workers they represent are having to pay a steep price for their endorsement. Weren't they told, we told you so? See, Biden is now playing a tax hike as well as the gas prices soaring, the food prices going up weren't enough. Now the middle class is getting hammered. And here, I mean, every one of his so-called ideas is failing. Manufacturing the vehicle had originally been slated in the Ohio Ford plant, but now the plant's manager said conditions have changed since the contract was negotiated. So while he didn't specify the conditions, one obvious change is the switch in presidents. In fact, the announcement from Ford came only days after reports emerged that Biden is planning to spike taxes to pay off this exorbitant spending. He claims he's only taxing, what is it, Derek, 400, if you make 400,000 a year or whatever. No, it's going to trickle down to everybody because that's how it works. His tax hike to pay back this $1.9 trillion bullcrap, which don't get me wrong, people need the money, but we're not getting but 9% of this money. Mind you that, the rest of it's going to the baloney crap out there in other countries because they don't care about us. When we should, if you take 330 million Americans in this country, so let's round up to 10% of 1.9. They're only giving out roughly $30 million, roughly, to every American that qualifies, 85%. So even less than that. And the rest of it's going to bull crap and back to their pockets. And you're going to see a $1,400 check. Granted, that's going to be a big help, but hello. Businesses closed, people are hurting. So why aren't we getting the bulk of that money? Well, there's your answer. So now he's going to raise taxes to the 400. And let me give the story of economics out here. Taxes going up to, if you make 400,000 a year, it's going where the tax is going to go. Well, think about it. In economic standards, it has to trickle somewhere. It's going to eventually fall on us. We're going to end up paying higher taxes as well, whether it be in food, gas, or even your federal tax is going to go up a little bit, but food and gas and other commodities are going to start going up. We are going to get shafted like there's no tomorrow. What do you think, Derek?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, there's no such thing as conspiracies, but then there's no such thing as coincidences. Historically, unions would back the Democrat candidate because unions leech themselves onto the Democrat candidate. But don't you find it interesting in the 2020 election, and I don't have the number right offhand, but how many unions during the 2020 election cycle endorsed President Trump? I mean, I don't have the exact number, but there was quite a few.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the last porculus bill that was just passed. Yeah, 9% of that total money stayed here in the United States to help the people with the, due to the COVID-19 scamdemic. 91% of that money went to the other countries. Now we're giving away 91% of the blue collar workers' tax money that's going to other countries. And what are we getting in return? We're getting their people. So if these other countries are getting our tax money and we're getting their people, which I think is an unfair trade-off to begin with, what are those countries doing with our money if they have nobody to spend it on because all their people are coming over here legally and illegally?
Yeah, let me throw that back at you. Where's that money going? They're going to find a way to filter it right back to their own pockets. Pelosi and the rest of the swamp. They're going to find a way to that money to make it back to them and put it in their pockets.
Absolutely. It's a huge money laundering scheme. The American people, it's taken them till President Trump was in office to realize that it's a big laundering money scheme. Absolutely. And you're talking about people's taxes going up. It's nice that the government is giving the people money because that normally never happens, even though the money belongs to the people anyway. That's great. But the government's going to want to make that money back up somewhere. Where do you think they're going to make it up in? What is the Democrats' favorite thing to do when they have power? Just like you mentioned, raise your taxes. Absolutely. That's what's going to happen. They're going to make up that money that they gave out to the American people, not remembering that it's the American people's money to begin with.
Yeah, and that's the sad part because we always say our kids' probably going to end up paying for it. And it's possible. But in the meantime, they're going to jack that up so we're all paying for it. You drive a construction truck. What was the price of gas, if you remember correctly, during while President Trump was in office? What under a buck, $1.50, $1.25 on diesel? I don't know that because I think the company gets a deal when they order so many gallons. But at least in my car, I was paying.
Okay, in your vehicle to get you to and from work, $1.25, $1.50 here in Central Indiana, give or take.
Around between that and 220, yeah.
Okay, so now it's up. It's up what over 250, 265, pushing $3 a gallon. And now that illegitimate President Biden's taken over.
Yeah, I in fact today I paid $268, I think it was, to fill my tank. $25. Normally I can do it for 20. $5 more, but yeah, it was more, and it's slowly going to creep up even more. So be prepared. I mean, we're going to look like California. That's the sad part. And food prices are going to go up a little bit. Now, my grocery bill still stays pretty relative, but I did see some items that normally it just seemed like it had a little higher price, unless you use your Kroger card or whatever. But there was some little bit. And one of the employees, when they were stocking, who was a vendor, I got talking to her for a minute. Yeah, they're raising their prices. So really? Yeah, we got to cover our labor, gas. We got to cover all this. So it's not just a simple thing. It's going to affect everything.
But folks, don't let Chris fool you. He lives off ramen noodles, so his grocery bill's not going to be that high. Oh wait, ramen noodles and Boone's Farm wine, so his grocery bill's not going to be that high.
Oh my God! Well, that don't explain why I'm getting some weight I'm trying to lose. I mean, that ain't ramen noodles, I'm telling you. Man, and it ain't Boone's Farm. I actually drink some pretty good wine. So now, holy cow, I can't believe you did that. I'm proud of my gut. Derek, come on now. It's healthy. So, but yeah, I don't, it's just me and my dogs, typically. So my bill isn't totally high, but when you see these little nuances of prices going up, it's going to affect everybody and it's going to affect you. Luckily I don't do a whole lot of driving so I can spare the gas, but at the same time. So now when I had hit it on a couple of things and we hit it on Antifa, guess what? We're going to do a quick come back around. Who's famous for doing that, Derek?
Raggedy Ann.
Is that what you call her now?
Or golly. What's the girl off Peanuts, off Snoopy?
Peppermint Patty.
Yes.
Well, this little special nonsense has kind of cut me to the core with all the videos out there and everything out there proving Antifa exists. Okay, now I somehow lost the video. I'm trying to find the video again, and I can't stand this program with these fools on said program. Okay, now I'm sure everybody's heard this. Every one of you out here, every one of us has heard this nonsense from this foolish, retarded, one of 4 retarded, ignorant pieces of crap on that show. That Joy, what kind of a name is that? She ain't even joyful, refers to Antifa as a fictitious idea and not a real thing. This is grinding my gears. Has she lost her mind, everybody? Every one of them on this show has lost their mind, in my opinion. Whoopi, all of them. I used to like Whoopi in Star Trek, but you know what? Not anymore. These ignorant pieces of crap really believe that this is an idea. Now, remember, Biden during the presidential debate kept saying it was an idea. But lo and behold, you right now, everybody out there watching, if you're on your computer or your phone, drop in there into the search engine Antifa videos. How many videos are going to come up? A lot of them. There will be a lot of videos that come up about Antifa. Antifa is not a fictitious idea. Now, the video I had, I did lose it. I don't know what happened to it. It just magically disappeared. But you hear her verbally say this, and it is disgusting because these witches should know better and know that Antifa is real. We just did an article, CNN's paying an Antifa leader. So, yes, everybody, it is real. This fool just doesn't want to acknowledge the real and the problems going on. So, this week, I give my 1 cent middle finger up to Joy and the rest of the 4 lady hags. That is grinding my gear. Antifa is real. Everybody agree? I mean,
sure. It sure seems like Joyless Joy Behar and Jerry Nonads are hanging out, because if you remember correctly, this past summer, Representative Nadler was proposed the same question, talking about Antifa, and he answered it the same way, that it's not real and it's just a myth. So Joyless Joy and Nonads with his pants up to his nipples seem like they've been hanging out way too much.
Yeah, I agree. And that should tell you a little bit of something why she wants to go with it. It's like they're calling, okay, we're being treated like sheep, but I think they are too, if you think about it. And they hang with each other and they feed each other off their crap nonsense. And it drives me absolutely nuts, because that show, I'm surprised it's still on the air. It needs to go. Those 4, oh my gosh. I hate them as much as I hate Trevor Noah. He's not funny, running the coattail jackass.
Well, you know, the only people that are watching that, Chris, are leftists, because what time does that show come on during the day?
Crap. I don't know, because I never watched it.
And it's what, like 11:30, 12 o'clock?
It's like early, yeah.
Conservatives are at work at that time.
Oh, you're right, yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, Derek. Yes, that is true. But it still needs to go up there. It's only lefties watching. I did catch a couple here and there because I was catching on, trying to figure out what they're doing because of Whoopi, but I don't like to watch it. But it just shows you how ignorant they are, and it needs to go. Them, and I just said it, Trevor Noah, partly why the Grammys were such, that's lowest ratings ever. He was hosting it. He's a no good hack. I don't know if anybody out there likes him. I'm sorry if I treaded on your feet on that. I can't stand the guy. He's not funny. He's a major Trump hater, and he doesn't hold back. The Grammys was nothing but political. And if we can't like Dr. Seuss, why the hell does the actresses up there get to simulate sex on stage, but yet we can't have Dr. Seuss or Pepe Le Pew?
Chris, your show is too good to talk about Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is an absolute clown. That's all everybody needs to know. He's an absolute clown. And Comedy Central has not been funny. You know what? I don't even know if Comedy Central has ever been funny. But yeah, Trevor Noah is a clown, and you can take that to the bank.
And I'm going to add to that, Derek. Guess who else is a clown on there? Samantha Bee.
Oh yeah, those two are a match made in heaven. Well, I guess hell for that matter. But yeah, she is a total clown as well.
Exactly. I cannot. I just both of the, you go to my Twitter. I rip into them on occasion. I put them on the spot. I don't care if they're reading or not. Other people are. I mean, I'm getting 200, 300, 400 to 1,000 impressions every time I tag them and nail them to the wall for their stupidity. And I call him a hack, riding everybody else's coattails. So now that we've kind of touched on that, we touched earlier a little bit about the border crisis, and I'm going to put this out there. Joe Biden, okay, first, President Trump blocked the borders. We're controlling the border issue. Joe Biden gets in there and says, welcome, everybody. Come on over. We're letting you in. We love you. We're going to give you free everything. Now what is Joe doing all of a sudden? Whoa. We can't handle this crisis. We're going to keep you back. You can't come in right now. Stay back. No. We don't want you in. Oh, we're going to blame Trump for this. We're blaming President Trump because we created this crisis. This is Biden. We created the crisis, allowing them in, but we're going to blame Trump for it. Now we're going to tell you you can't come in. Now he's going to Mexican authorities. Can you help us control this problem? He wants Mexico to clean up his problem. Holy cow. That is not a leader. He wants Mexico to clean up this problem. Is anybody else not catching this? This is crazy. So he wants him to clean up his mistake, and it's absolutely asinine because I don't know, everybody. He's saying he wants him to, Mexico plans migration crackdown as U.S. struggles with record arrivals. Okay, so he's preparing to significantly reinforce efforts to detain U.S.-bound migrants who illegally cross into the border. Remember, he opened the border, everybody. Mexico didn't care. Let him in. Now he's backtracking and peddling on his routine. The government said this week it is facing the highest number of migrations reaching its border with Mexico in 20 years. Gee, I wonder why. Authorities and major challenges sparking concerns inside the Mexican government. The people familiar with the plan that Mexico would deploy security forces to cut the flow of migrants, the bulk of whom come from Central America's so-called Northern Triangle, Guatemala, blah, blah, blah. We know this. Now, but he's now wanting Mexico to help rely on this when it's his fault. Has Joe Biden, let me ask everybody this, including you, Derek, has Joe Biden yet gone to the border to see the problem? I'll give you a minute. No, he has not. Why do you think that is? Shouldn't he? President Trump did. So is he afraid? I mean, is he afraid to realize he's screwed up and he's listening to these people in his ears and he's not going to do his job? I don't know, Derek. What do you think, buddy? I think he's either afraid or he doesn't want to realize he's being bamboozled by everybody telling him what to say in his ear. I mean, think about this.
Well, everybody in his regime is a message boy, and they have no idea how to play at the big boy table. For one, let's keep that in mind, and two, we touched on this last night for people that listen to pirate radio, and the Republican governors, because there are more Republican governors in the United States than there are left governors. Why don't they grow a set of balls like Kristi Noem, for example, and the governors on the border, Texas and Arizona, with Governor Abbott and Governor Doug Ducey? Why don't you two join a coalition and you two worry about border security? You have your National Guard, you pull them from DC if you have not already, and you use your National Guard to run security on the border. Guess what? Illegitimate President Biden and his regime and the federal government, if you were to do that, can't do a damn thing about it. So the Arizona governor, Doug Ducey, and Greg Abbott down in Texas, you guys put together a coalition and you take it upon yourselves to protect the border. Kristi Noem, the leader that she is, let her worry about COVID. You have the great Ron DeSantis in the great state of Florida governor. Let him worry about big tech. And I'd be willing to bet you start a coalition with those two governors in Arizona and Texas, and they start securing the border with their National Guard troops, which they are over, not the federal government. I'd be willing to bet you other Republican governors across the United States would send you National Guard troops as well to help your National Guard troops out.
And let's say the real Republican governors, because ours is a rhino and it's Democrat in disguise. So the real Republican governors, or even maybe there might be a couple Democrat governors that would be like, we need to control this. But let's give them some credit. But I agree with Indy right there. I agree 100% because they can control that border very easy right now if they really wanted to. So it's a propaganda. It's part of the plan. And now Joe's going to be, because they want to blame Trump because they got to keep Joe out of the spotlight about this now. Well, he's got to be hidden because that fool can't speak for crap. Listen to me, I'm stumbling at times, but I'm not president. So he is absolutely got to be hidden right now because it's his mistake and his regime. It's their mistake. So what are they going to do? Well, we're going to blame Trump. Now we're going to tell them to hold off. We're going to get Mexico to help. We got nothing to do, but we're not sending the National Guard down there to help. It's all part of the plan. It's a deliberate act because Derek, some of them that they let in had COVID. Okay. They were tested positive. They were not quarantined and released back into public. Texas, especially. So there's a plan here. Do we know it? No. But think about it. Things are not happening by coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences. Even though it seems like coincidental.
Chris, think about this, and I see you're coming up against the top of the hour, but think about this. What is the scuttlebutt going around right now? For people that may want to travel in the not-so-distant future, maybe this summer or this fall, you have to show whatever transportation service you take, bus, train, plane, boat, whatever, you're going to have to show them your air finger quotes COVID papers. But you have people coming across the border every day by the thousands, and thank the Lord, Border Patrol is doing the best they can with what they're given, and these people don't have to show papers at all.
Yeah, sad. Derek, do you have a song for us?
No, but what I can suggest is, and people are probably going to get tired of hearing this. A friend of the show, a friend of the channel, Buddy Brown. We've been pushing his new album, American Savage, all week. If you want to pull a song off there to make a tie-in to either illegal immigrants or something else, if you go to the song Welfare Worker, I think you and your audience will get a kick out of that, and it'll tie into the first hour of the show.
Well, hold on here. Let me see. You want to pull that out? He's got some great songs, Buddy Brown.
Yeah. If you go to Welfare Worker, again, that is off his new album, American Savage. You'll get a kick out of that as well as your listeners.
Yeah, give me a second here. I think I actually have it. Yes, I think this is it. Buddy Brown's Welfare Worker. You know what? We will play this for the top of the hour song. I always put Derek on the spot, because they pull them good and we get some good ones. So here we go. We are going to play this for our song at the top of the hour. I love this song. So give me a second and we will do this. So everybody, I hope you enjoy. Here is Buddy Brown, Welfare Worker. This is great.
What's going on, y'all? What a time to be alive. I saw a guy on the news bragging about being on generational welfare. Third or fourth generation now, they've been playing the system, telling everybody how to do it. I got inspired. So, listen, he wasn't the sharpest crayon in the box, but somebody's got to scoop goldfish off the top of the water in the aquarium at Petco. That could be you, big boy. I mean, just think about it. He said, why would you work hard? You can just lay on your ass. Cause the boss man can't fire me. Yeah, the liberals got my back. Complaining and we moan when we don't get our way. Allergic to work boots and 10-hour days. Yeah, I'm a welfare worker. Yeah, I'm damn near bulletproof. Ain't got a spark of ambition, just rolling blunts up on the roof. It's everyone's fault and it's never my own. I'll live off the system until I'm long gone. Yeah, I'm a welfare worker. Yeah, a welfare worker. But I don't work at all. He said, October we all protest, right outside with all our crew. We play the victim card on Main Street for the 6 o'clock news. We don't want to earn it, so just steal it all. Bring good people down while we piss on the law. Yeah, I'm a welfare worker. Yeah, I'm damn near bulletproof. Ain't got a spark of ambition, just rolling blunts up on the roof. It's everyone's fault and it's never my own. I'll live off the system until I'm long gone. Yeah, I'm a welfare worker, but I don't work at all. I got 2 working arms and 2 working legs, but there's too much dumbass inside of my head. Yeah, I'm a welfare worker. Yeah, I'm damn near bulletproof. Ain't got a spark of ambition, just rolling blunts up on the roof. It's everyone's fault and it's never my own. I'll live off the system until I'm long gone. Yeah, I'm a welfare worker. Yeah, I'm damn near bulletproof.
I've been scrolling his music, and he is absolutely funny. Ever since you introduced him to me, Derek, and I love it.
Yeah, I thought we could probably make a tie-in with that song and what we talked about there in hour number 1. And then it looks like you may need to update your green screen because all I see is a green velvet background behind you. So I think your picture has faded away. There you go. Just giving everybody an update as we did in hour number 1. Been watching. There was a special election today, like I mentioned earlier in hour number 1 in Louisiana. 2 congressional districts, the 2nd congressional district that is a plus 25 to the Democrats with 646 out of 657 precincts reported. It looks like they are going to have a special runoff election. I believe that is April 24th. Right now, as you can see on the graph to my left, Troy A. Carter has 36% of the vote, which is 34,053 votes. Karen Carter Peterson has 23%, which is 21,446. So if things stay the way they are, they're going to have, like I mentioned, they're going to have a special runoff on April 24th because neither candidate in the 2nd congressional district received 50+% of the vote. If that would have been the case, then they wouldn't need, obviously, a special runoff election. So it looks like in congressional district number 2, I believe that's April 24th. Let me double check that. Yeah, April 24th, there will be a special runoff election from the 2 top vote getters. And it looks like that's going to be both Democrats, Troy A. Carter and Karen Carter Peterson. And then moving to District 5, which this was a total runaway, as you can see. But with 823 of 825 precincts reporting, Julia Letlow, who is the widow of the Congress-elect Luke Letlow. This was actually going to be his seat in Louisiana in the 5th Congressional District, but unfortunately on December 29th, Congressman-elect Letlow passed due to complications from COVID. So this was another election today, and as we said, the runaway winner already, this race has been called, is Congresswoman-elect Julia Letlow. She received 65% of the vote, which equivalated to 67,900 votes. And with her getting 65%, that is above that 50% threshold. So that race has been called. I sent out on Indie News Media earlier, congratulations to Congresswoman-elect Letlow for her win. And now, if memory serves me correctly, the House just got a little bit tighter. The Democrats still obviously own the majority, 220, but the Republicans are slowly catching them at 212. So hopefully that gets the ball rolling as we get closer to 2022. And President Trump is 1 for 1 so far in endorsements, because back in I believe it was March 10th, he put out a press release giving Julia Letlow his full endorsement, and she was also endorsed by Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana and the National Pro-Life Organization.
Yeah, and that's important, pro-life. So let's keep that in mind, which will be coming up episode before too long. And I think we got to keep our fingers crossed that more of them keep winning their spots this year, because there are several races this year, I believe, and they're like this year and next year, several races. So we got to keep an eye on it and hope they keep taking over. Good. You can't put that up on the screen share, can you, or is that, because it is hard to read it, but it's, it's all right.
Let me send you, because I've tried to do screen share while running OBS, and for some reason it resets my computer. Chris, I will drop the link into our Zoom chat right about now, if you want to pull that up for everyone to get a better look at.
All right, let's see here if I can grab that real quick. Let's see here, and is it coming up? And is it there? And let me move this over here. Let me move the screen here. Well, shoot, what's going on? There we go. Let's see. Taking a minute to load for some reason. I don't know why. My computer today has been going slow out of the blue, and it shouldn't be. Yeah, I'll there we go. So just real quick, we'll give you a peek at what he was just showing. That was on the side of the screen. Here it is. And real pretty colors there. So you can see it here. There she is. Boom. From the 5th Congressional District, she has it. And so congratulations. Definitely the up here at Troy. For Democrats, well, in the second. But are they calling it?
Well, like I said, Chris, and I sent you this information earlier. The 2nd Congressional District, I kind of wrote off, obviously, because, like I said earlier, that is a plus 25 for the Democrats. So that's why I kind of wrote that one off. But the 5th Congressional District, the one I was more interested in, obviously, with the endorsement by President Trump of Julia Letlow, that is a plus 15 for the Republicans. So I felt more confident, obviously, in District 5 than I did in District 2.
Yeah, there it is, everybody. So if that gives you an idea of what he's talking about, so you can see it, there it is. And that is really good. So now on the lighter side of things, what is the dumbest thing any of you have heard when it came to this lie-demic? What is the dumbest, most retarded thing you've heard about this lie-demic restrictions at all? I'll give you a minute, because I'm going to top off what you all have heard. The dumbest thing you've heard yet about restrictions when it comes to the lie-demic. So I'm curious, chat, what is the dumbest thing you've heard? Derek, what's the dumbest thing you've heard?
Anytime America's Dr. Fauci opens his mouth.
I call him Falsey. Falsey. And believe it or not, his name means I want to say liar or false in that I forgot how it's spelled in that language, but yeah, his name actually means false. So what is the dumbest thing? Vigilance is whatever Joe said. Yeah, well, we agree on that. But literally during this pandemic, we've heard the stupidest things. You need 1 mask, 2 masks. The joke of the box, wearing a box of masks. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. But I got one here that's going to top it all off. Even I could not believe this. Yes, I got the dumbest thing, pandemic restriction yet. And I want to get everybody's opinion on this. And Derek, I think I think this is going to surprise you because it did surprise me. So I don't see nobody in chat throwing out two masks. Okay, 2 masks. Yeah, that's the main one.
Well, before you get into that, interesting that you brought up this topic because there is a story again posted up there at indienews.org, and it has to do with the left-leaning media outfit CNBC realized how insane the CDC's 6-foot rule was in response to COVID. This action cost billions, and its results are unknown, but realistically minimal. This is a quote from Hot Air from the CDC. The CDC began the pandemic or scamdemic operating on the assumption that the Wuhan virus transmits the way the flu does, he notes, and they're referring to Dr. Gottlieb. And they never seemed quite abandoned that assumption, despite the data to the contrary gathered over the past year. 6 feet of distance and frequently hand washing makes sense when you have a virus that's airborne by large droplets. Those are more likely to end up disposed on surfaces than they are to be inhaled, particularly if you're keeping some space between yourself and the infected person. For a virus that's airborne by aerosols, distance, here important, becomes less important. Aerosols can travel beyond 6 feet and may linger in the air. Masking is more important than hand washing when facing a threat like that. The CDC was operating on the wrong model, here we go, of what they were dealing with at the beginning, based on a guess, not on hard science. And by the time they started moving away from it, thousands of people were already infected. We'll never know how many contracted COVID while studiously observing the 6-foot rule, believing they were safe at that distance when they weren't.
Does that surprise you?
No. It's a government entity. No.
Yeah. Now in chat, I love this. Everybody go. If you read it there, everybody go. I love this one. 2 masks, 3 masks, and all this. But this surprisingly, Control Chaos is wear masks during sex. That's interesting. I don't.
You mean you don't?
Hell no.
Huh? I thought that was universal. Huh?
No.
I guess I've been doing it wrong.
Oh my God, these are so funny. A lot of these guys, everybody, good ones you got. No, I've even got that one, B, Control Chaos. Guarantee it. The dumbest thing yet that I've heard thus far during the pandemic. Yes, this is actually was put out. So are you ready for this, Derek? I don't know if you are. Can you handle this? Because this is funny. This is great. Dumbest pandemic restriction yet. No screaming on a roller coaster. I've got this beat, everybody. There's no way you can come up with something better than this. You cannot make this crap up. No screaming on a roller coaster. We celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the so-called 15 days to flatten the curve crap this week. Well, what would you think now that it's more than a year, we would be done with the dumbest restrictions, possibly even wearing ourselves off the dumbest restrictions we've already stuck with. But California, of all places, the state is finally giving residents their amusement parks back, but with a catch. You're not allowed to have any fun. Oh my God. We already know California's screwed up anyways. Okay, the Parks Association on amusement park rides may have on spreading the virus. California's guidelines are ready to limit singing. Now no shouting either at amusement parks, roller coasters, plus any other ride designed for no other reason than to scare the bejesus out of you. It's hard to go through this thing. I could stop laughing when I read it earlier. They're not even worried about face coverage, okay? Why even bother opening up the parks? The entire point of going to them is to hoot, holler with your friends. Also, no one chooses to scream while they're on a roller coaster. It's a natural reaction. You sit in a car while you're there. We know what goes on. Safety habits, who knows? Then once you hit the top, the car shoots straight down, warning, you start screaming. Of course, unless you piss yourself. Now, I think I'll decide to yell at a high volume, screaming a natural instinct because you think you're going to die. Okay? Now, how do we mitigate this? Have health inspectors hand out citations as people get off the rides? Make the carny running to the top and stop it mid-plunge until you calm yourself down? Maybe each theme park needs to have falsely there, letting park goers know how disappointed he is at all of them. I'm actually surprised Democrat didn't write this into the bill. The entire point of the amusement parks is to scream out in the amusement parks. Otherwise, there's no point in having the parks. Enough is enough with this junk. So, have I beaten everybody's thought with this? I believe I have. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I think I've got y'all beat on that.
Well, I dropped something in Zoom chat. I know it's been viral for probably a year and a half now, but it just reminds me every time I think of the Wuhan, the China virus. This video comes to mind. I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, Chris. I put it in Zoom chat, and that may tell everybody. We went from 15 days to flatten the curve to over 365 now. But if you want to play that video, if you've not seen it yet, it's a total wrap up of what this China Wuhan virus is.
Is it the horse race?
Yes.
Okay, give me a second here. All right, hold on here. Yeah, for some reason it was taking for a minute to load. So give me a sec. All right, we'll play it. I think I have seen this. Yeah, give me a second here.
Yeah, for people that may have not had the opportunity to see this yet, this is the China Wuhan virus in a nutshell.
Come on, drop it. For some reason, the computer's going slow out of the blue. There we go.
And they're off. Out of the gate, it's coronavirus, followed closely behind by Wuhan-style lockdown. On the outside, it's global pandemic working hard against flatten the curve. Social distancing got off to a slow start, but he's now neck and neck with flatten the curve. On the inside, it's just a little flu, followed by trust the experts. As they pass the quarter poll, 18 months vaccine is working hard to get past Plaquenil. Dr. Fauci is 3 lengths back of the leaders. Stimulus plan is trying to squeeze by PPE as they enter the backstretch. But out on the outside, here comes economic shutdown. Open by Easter, gets bumped a little bit by Dr. Fauci. Flatten the curve and economic shutdown are battling it out as they head past the half-mile pole. Distance learning stumbled out of the gate, and it looks like he won't be able to get back into it. Not his day today, folks. They are moving at a brisk pace and all clustered together except for my bank account, which is way back of the pack. He might be injured. They might have to pull him up. Toilet paper is nowhere to be seen. He's lost in the pack. As they head into the far turn, it's social distancing still in the lead, but Daily Briefing is lurking 1.5 lengths back. It's a tremendous race, folks. I've never seen anything like it. And now, Cure Worse Than the Disease is starting to make his move. As they enter the top of the stretch, cabin fever is charging hard, but social distancing is holding him off. Economic shutdown is still looking strong, and he's nose to nose with Cure Worse Than the Disease. And on the inside, here comes Dr. Fauci, and down the stretch they come. It's social distancing and economic shutdown now neck and neck. I don't believe it. Dr. Fauci is trying to keep pace, and with 1 furlong to go, it's economic shutdown, social distancing, and Dr. Fauci. And as they come to the wire, it's... oh my God, it's no one fucking knows by a head. Oh, an incredible race, folks. 11-7-12 trifecta pays 117.39. Woo!
The last part is how I feel. Nobody really knows. And at this point, they've shoved so many narratives down the American people's throats that I don't think anybody gives a flying shit anymore.
Yeah, I have to agree. But I noticed something during that race, Derek. There was no social distancing in that race.
That's your takeaway. That's your takeaway. You know, speaking of that, it's interesting. And I don't know how many people have been, our frequent flyers or that have flown over the past year with this scamdemic. But an interesting observation, and I know I've probably said this before on the Common Sense Show, you go to the airport and you have to wear your mask everywhere you go in the airport. They'll scold you if you don't. But then they want you to, at the airport, socially distance, wear your mask. But then you get on a plane and they pack you in like sardines and you still have to wear your mask. You're not socially distanced, but you're in there like sardines. Just doesn't make sense to me.
I have to agree. Now, everybody, I'm dropping the link. I dropped it twice into chat for you so you can see that video yourself. So, yeah, and I'm going to put this up. This picture speaks volumes, Derek. Now that we're going down this path, exactly what is happening in our country today for the past year, give or take. And this picture says it all. This photo, this drawing, this pic says it all, everybody. It's just point blank. This is what's happening right now in our country in every aspect of the word. Look at the sleeves, the cuffs of the sleeves too. That is Lady Liberty. And I will have to tell you, this speaks volumes. This is exactly the truth to what is going on in our country today. The only thing this is missing, Derek, now I'm not trying to step over the line here. The only thing that's missing here is liberty being shut up and whatnot I'll say it. She's not being raped. Our country is being raped, everybody. We're being freaking treated like dogs and we're being raped. That is the only thing missing from this picture. It's exactly what this is going on. These idiots and these idiots are doing. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. We are missing that one more element in that picture.
Well, the only cufflink that I didn't see in that picture that I think would make it more accurate is if you had the hammer and sickle of the CCP on there as well.
Oh, nice. That would have been a good add-on in there, like on the part of the cufflink. Or yeah, I don't know. I have to say this was happening. So are we? Is it going to get worse before it gets better? Let's hope so. Let's hope it gets better. And yes, it will get worse before it gets better.
This is really important.
Whoops. I don't know what happened there.
We believe.
Sorry. So, I don't know, Derek. I mean, how much worse can it get, everybody? Seriously, how much worse can it get?
Well, I think what happened in 2020 with the election stolen, I think it proves a couple points. One, it proves that elections obviously do have consequences. Look what's happening to our country today as a result of cheating. But number two, it just proves how important elections are at the local and state level. We've talked about that on the Common Sense Show. I don't know how many times now. We had Dan Schultz on talking about how important local elections are. How important the local elections are, especially in Indianapolis, for example. But it shows to prove rather again how important local elections are. Because if we had state legislators in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona that had courage, they would have overturned or not allowed their elections to be certified. But they didn't. They had no courage, and it just proves how important not only local but state elections are, and how much further we have to work and pay attention to who we're voting for.
Yeah. Interesting take. I have to agree. I've been saying, like, during our elections, not necessarily go for the R or the D, go for the person. But we witnessed, and we had on the show, it was last week, yeah, when we did the caucus for the new chair, we had on the show exactly what's going on, that the election rigs it. They set it up. They set up for the chair because they want to take over. It happens. And I got actually in a debate on a post that WXIM put out there about it, and saying that somebody was trying to say, where's the proof of this election? So I just kind of laid it back out to them with little things, tagged the episode with Melissa on here that we had on here, that Melissa Corona that testified. She was hired by the Dominion to be a tech, and saw it. And then I made a simple comment. If a child can say something's wrong, does that mean the child's smarter than you? And they couldn't come back with anything. Then they attacked on somebody about Biden, because they mentioned about Trump. They mentioned part of the problems going on, and I made a kind of a nice, polite statement. So, okay, tell me what Biden has done good for you. What has he done good? And he could not answer it. I never can get anybody to answer it. He didn't even bring up Trump. He disappeared. He stopped commenting. And a couple of people came to defense and agreed. They dodged that question because he's doing nothing good. We already know people will try to vote for him out of hate. We already know that people didn't give a rat's ass. So it's just blind ignorance. So now I hope all these liberals that have been sitting there saying, yo, Joe, are now going, holy crap, we screwed up. I believe that's coming. I believe people are sitting there thinking that. You already got unions regretting it. You already got, now Mexican border is regretting it. Everybody's regretting that this fool is in there. But believe me when I say this, he's getting ready to slip out. Harris is going to step up. Who will be the vice president then? Holy crap, we don't want that. Right, Derek? We do not want who in that spot.
Well, it's interesting, as you just touched on, when referencing social media. What was everything you heard on social media or read on social media the last 4 years, and then during the last presidential election cycle? It was orange man bad, hate Donald Trump this, hate Donald Trump that. Okay. And then Joe Biden illegitimately gets elected. The election was stolen from President Trump. Let's be blunt and call it for what it's worth. And these same people that the last 4 years and during the last presidential cycle were saying, orange man bad, hate Donald Trump for this, hate Donald Trump for that. Where's their positivity in touting all the accomplishments illegitimate President Joe Biden has accomplished in exactly 2 months' time now? Those same people that were touting how orange man bad, hate Donald Trump for this, hate Donald Trump for that on social media are nowhere to be found today.
Oh, yeah. I have not found anybody anywhere saying anything good. Media's how do I put it? Trampling over itself, trying to cover its ass. I mean, that's what I've got up with. Here in chat, where they're saying what could be worse? Murder hornets. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Camilla is not going to be putting any more powerful than her. Anyone more powerful than Pelosi? So, Macavity, an asteroid strike sounds good to me about now. Better than this BS. Oh, wow, that's like total extinction there, right? We don't, let's make sure it's a small enough one that pinpoints them. How's that? Saves the rest of us. But you guys really put some good stuff out there, and we love it and we appreciate it. Good comments, good things. Let's see here. Slick Six, I like your comment there about what you use, but I don't do that. I've been a drummer all my life, but I could see it working, but I troll just fine. I don't need nothing to help do that, but cool. Like to see a video of you playing, which kind of brings me to something interesting while we're sitting here. We're down to our, 25 minutes in the show. And we're going to do some fun stuff here. Coming up on season 2 for Your Voice, we will be doing some really fun, new, innovative shows. We're going to have guest hosts, and I believe, Derek, would you like this? Diana Ploss is going to be on next Saturday as a co-host. She's going to help out and co-host with us. We're going to try to get some more guests coming up. We're doing a season with ranging everything from making you think in your mind, politics, to UFOs, to physics, to some fun and exciting things as well to keep people engaged and get people to use their minds and interact. And I think it'll be a fun season. I'm looking forward to it. I do have some guests that we're working on lining up for the UFO series. People that you've seen on TV, people that's helped out on that subject. I got emails asking, when are we going to start doing it? Soon, I promise, soon. So jump up, because I want to have a good guest when we start that if we can. But I am going to share an article here, Derek, and I think you saw this. It's on all the news all over. During Catawba County deputies did a raid on a house. And I got to give them credit on this. How many seen this? I mean, you've seen it. I got to give them a little bit of credit when they seized the drugs and weapons and whatnot. Well, this particular weapon, I find interesting, and you, Derek, being an officer, probably found this kind of interesting too. This was a gun. This is a 9mm, a true to heart 9mm, and the whole thing was made to look like a Nerf gun. And that's something. And it locked in here, and it was made to look like a Nerf gun. They hid this. I got to give them credit. I got to give them credit for them to disguise this gun, let alone a 9mm, as a Nerf gun. You got to admit that took some planning and some, interesting, because they made the converted Glock pistol with 50-round drum magazine. They really got creative. I don't know what to say. And this is who they arrested on it. 35 was arrested in charge of felonious possession of cocaine, felonious possession of mushrooms, and misdemeanor possession of marijuana. Held on $20,000 unsecured bond, which you probably bond up pretty easily. Is March courts on the 18th. But you got to give them some credit there. I mean, that's pretty genius. That's kind of a lighter note of what's going on.
Yeah, that's it's interesting how whoever the individual was that created that Nerf gun that was able to incorporate a 9mm handgun into that Nerf gun to just taking a quick glance at it, you're just like, it's a regular Nerf gun, until you actually break it down and see that person incorporated a real 9mm handgun into it.
I have to give them credit. Sorry, but I have to. Now, I did see. I just lost it. I don't know if you can find it.
I got it. Well, I got a joke for you. I just seen on Twitter. Well, actually, it's more, it might not be a joke. It's probably more of firearm advice. But Chris, from now on, I would make the suggestion that all of your firearms that you own, keep them upstairs, because Joe Biden won't get to them if they're upstairs.
And I'm on one floor of the house, but yeah, that's true. That's a good one.
The real comment was, well, I'm not worried about Joe Biden getting any of my guns. I keep them upstairs.
Yeah, that's great. I like that. That's all right. Kudos to the internet for whoever posted that. That is the newest one that you win the internet for the day. I gotta say, there was something. There was one article that I thought was kind of interesting, but I lost the picture. Maybe I could pull it up. Maybe we'll show it if I find it tomorrow. But I did want to bring this up, and this is the chart that was brought to attention about COVID cases in the Midwest states that have not completely removed restrictions versus states that have removed them since January. If you squint enough, you can tell they're actually two separate lines. And voila, this is, they're following the same trend, basically. They are two separate lines, but they're following basically the same trend. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, there's no difference. And you notice the trend is dropping. Gee, and look at the dates. Oh, what's this date down here? January 5th to the 9th. What is that time frame there, Derek? We're at a peak. And then after said day, bloop, 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 bam, to today. What's that tell you there, buddy?
I also believe, and I got a couple tidbits here of information that has to do with Julia Letlow, but didn't President Trump talk about how this would the Wuhan virus would become a non-issue after Joe Biden got inaugurated?
Yep, and we have been saying that as well on many of our shows. I made it clear, watch by the end of March, we won't hear hardly anything about it, but it happened quicker. So I have to give that kudos. It did happen quicker, and you are right.
A couple things I want to pass on. Just reading Congresswoman Lauren Boebert from Colorado's 5th Congressional District, I do believe. She tweeted out congratulations to Julia Letlow. Did you know that with her victory tonight, she is the first woman to be the representative in Louisiana's 5th Congressional District in Congress, and she now makes the 18th newest GOP woman in the 117th Congress. That's interesting. And then Fox News just put out an exclusive as well. And reading this makes me wonder, is it this bad and out of control on the border? Border Patrol in the Rio Grande Valley now is considering releasing illegal crossers into the United States. And here's the catch: without a court date.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, that's asinine. And that is absolutely ridiculous. Now, what also is more ridiculous than that, though, Derek? Okay, you've seen the Pope coming out with all these new things they're saying. Oh, we cannot condone, when they had been. Now we're not going to condone same-sex marriages. We can't. What's the word? Actually, condones the way I'm fitting, but bless them. Can't bless what's sin and stuff. Now, have you seen this? Has anybody seen this? And tomorrow I'll stretch on this more because it is a long article. So I just want to touch on what you will see tomorrow on tomorrow's show, 2 to 4, right here in PSB. This is kind of ticking me off now too. And I've been talking about this. Now, I ain't kind of surprised it's the Vatican doing it, but here we go. Pope like a serpent. He calls for a new world order after the pandemic. New world order. Now, I believe here on our show, here on Your Voice, and maybe even on Derek's show and a couple others, this has been touched on about a possible new world order derivative from the pandemic that they all going to work together to do. But here's the Pope actually pushing it. This is what we want. Yes, and the headline is not a conspiracy theory. A couple of weeks ago, Pope warned us to prepare for a flood of biblical proportions. Now he's demanding a new world order. No, he's saying demanding. Liberal Catholics must be in shock. Am I right? This comes from Chicks on the Right, a local radio show host. Derek and I know them pretty well. So they are told that the bend to liberalism and socialism and never question a thing Francis says or does. Now, this is a long article. It even has, quote, what he is saying. I will tomorrow address this. This is the top of the hour tomorrow because this is very important. Everybody has to keep an eye on what is happening. He wants a new world order. Okay. Now, liberal Catholics, now get what I'm getting at here. Liberal Catholics are going to push this, guarantee it, because they believe everything he says. Has anybody surprised on this? So tomorrow, top of the hour, at 2 o'clock, tune in and we'll address this because that is an important issue and it's making me sick to my stomach. It doesn't surprise me, but here we go. And they've kept secrets. They've allowed crimes. They've allowed heinous things to happen within their churches. You don't hear them speaking out against that, right? Not at all. So now he wants a new world order. I'm going to say ahead of time, because I did read the article, but I'm going to say ahead of time, Pope, you can shove it up your ass. It's that damn simple. I will not give him respect for this, just like I don't give Biden respect. Anyhow.
They live. The Pope seems like he lives that double standard lifestyle, like the majority on the left and some on the right do.
Yes, and it's sad. Okay, you got to look at the Catholic Church. All along has been this, for years. Hey, this is what we want. It's all about control. They've always controlled. They don't know. They were always crying, you don't need walls, but what's around Vatican City? A freaking wall. So, do as I say, not as I do. Am I right? What am I doing with my right hand that you can't, with my left hand, you can't see what I'm doing with my right, and vice versa. It is appalling. Now, everybody put your hands together and clap on this. I'm so tickled about this. Although people are slamming at times Newsmax, but everybody, we have to agree on this. I think we all can agree on this, and we all can definitely see right here. Trump slams media after WAPO, and everybody knows what that is, admits misquoting his call with Georgia officials during the election. Gee, does this surprise anybody? Hell no. He slams the media after Washington Post admits mistaking him, a mistake in his call to Georgia. Oh, what's this say, Derek? I think somebody's getting ready to take the gloves off. It's
the fact that, and I thought this was kind of suspicious when these tapes were released, or this phone call was released. I remember it was released. It was the weekend I went to DC, so it would have been right around or before January 6th. The Washington Post was the first outlet to release the phone call that President Trump at the time had with Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. And listening to it all, I did not hear at any point in time President Trump say, "Hey, you need to find me votes." And that was the narrative. Not only did the Washington Post use that, but other left-leaning media outlets, CNN, NBC, and there's a montage out there that I played on the Common Sense show this week that took and ran with that story that was first reported by the Washington Post. So the Washington Post kind of had to eat a little bit of crow and walk that back. And I'm waiting on those other media outlets that went and ran with that story that the Washington Post first reported on to see and hear them have to eat a little bit of crow and walk that back as well. But to my knowledge, as of right now, they have not done that.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't heard any of them do it, except in this article, Washington Post is, I would say, kind of doing it. They're still going to try to do damage control, make it look like they were in the right, even though we know they weren't. Because I never heard him say that. It didn't sound like that on just like during the speech during the riots, he did not tell people go and riot and tear things like they try to say he did. So it's just more media bullshit. So media errors, omissions, mistakes, and outright lies always slant one way. Against me, Republicans. Trump said this in a statement, according to the Daily Caller. The latest media travesty underscores the legacy media outlets should be regarded as political entities, not journalistic enterprises. And we've already seen media sets things up. They lie. CNN's paying an Antifa member to start riots. And then here we are. They're now going, oh, yeah, they're going to, let's see, would you like a little crow and potatoes with that? We're going to cram that down your throat. We will never let the Washington Post or the rest of them forget this. How's that? So explaining this correction that 2 months after publication of the story, the Georgia Secretary of State released an audio recording of President Trump's December phone call with the state top election officials. The recording revealed that the Post misquoted Trump's comments on the call. So, Derek, if I was President Trump right now, wouldn't you file a lawsuit against them? I would.
I know he put out a statement the same day that the Washington Post walked this back. Let me see if I can find that. I know just looking at the studio clock, you have about 10 minutes left or so. Let me see if I can find this statement that was released by the president right here. It was released on March 16th for people that I may not have seen this. Well, that's not it. That's just saying what was the headlines from the different media outlets. I wonder if this is it right here.
I saw a close screen share if you want to.
Yeah, this is it right here. Well, again, I have OBS, so my computer uses. Yeah, this comes again from President Donald J. Trump. The Washington Post just issued a correction as to the context of the incorrectly reported phone call I had with respect to voter fraud in the great state of Georgia. While I appreciate the Washington Post's correction, which immediately makes the Georgia witch hunt a non-story, the original story was a hoax right from the very beginning. I would further appreciate a strong investigation into Fulton County, Georgia, and the Stacey Abrams political machine, which I believe would totally change the course of the presidential election in Georgia. The consent decree, which is illegal, by the way, for people that don't know, signed between Raffensperger and Stacey Abrams, this was never voted on by the Georgia state lawmakers, was not approved by the Georgia state legislature and therefore should be deemed invalid and the election result changed. Why would the governor and Raffensperger ever approve this consent decree is one of the great questions. We look forward to an answer. You will notice that establishment media errors, omissions, mistakes, and outright lies always slant one way, against me and against Republicans. Meanwhile, stories that hurt Democrats or undermine their narratives are buried, ignored, or delayed until they can do them the least harm. For example, after an election is over. Look no further than the negative coverage of the vaccine that preceded the election and the overdue celebration of the vaccine once the election had concluded. A strong democracy, which I hate, I wish they would have worded that another way, a strong republic, requires a fair and honest press. The latest media travesty underscores that legacy media outlets should be regarded as political entities, not journalistic enterprises. In any event, I thank the Washington Post for the correction. So that was the statement that was put out by Donald J. Trump, 45th president of the United States. Now, what I was referring to, Chris, were some of these headlines here from key media outlets that may need to either be walked back or corrected. Newsweek, Washington Post correction triggers furious debate about whether false report influenced Georgia Senate race. New York Post, Trump says Washington Post misquoting of his call with Georgia official was media travesty. I guess these were some of the headlines after the correction. The Federalist, Washington Post accuses Trump of a crime based on fabricated quotes. Daily Mail, so they've made up quotes. Washington Post is slammed after admitting it misquoted Trump's call to Georgia election investigator, asking her to, quote, find the fraud. Mediaite, Washington Post issues massive correction to report on Trump call to Georgia official that misquoted his comments. Washington Examiner, media misquoted Trump in notorious phone call with Georgia investigator. Newsbusters, Washington Post exposed for fraudulent story on Trump call to Georgia. Washington Times, Washington Post misquotes Trump's call with Georgia official. Newsmax, Washington Post concedes it misquoted Trump's call with Georgia official. Breitbart, Washington Post admits Trump's find the fraud quote was fake news. And Daily Wire, they made up quotes. WAPO ripped for reporting fraudulent Trump quotes on call with GA investigator.
I like that. What's that on? You want to give me the link and we'll drop it in?
If you go to donaldjtrump.com and then you go up to the news section, every release that is released to the press in the news section on that website, you'll be able to find there.
Okay, so let me see here. Donald, you said, okay, hold on, I got it. His official site, right? Yep. Let's see, up on the news. My computer's going slow. I don't know why. I can't find it. Yeah, my stupid thing. It's going too slow. I'm going to have to find that.
It should be the first story that comes up. March 16th, 2021. What they are saying, the Washington Post's fake Georgia call story.
Okay, hold on here. There it is. I got it. All right. Let's see if I can drop this link and give them a minute to, yeah, showing all the different headlines on there of all the different posts. Yep. All right, so the article he just read, everyone, I am getting ready to drop the link directly off the page with the link tag into chat for you so you can read the story yourself. And it has other highlights of the stories that you can click on and read individual. So there you go. Thanks, Derek. That's a good one there. Yeah. We are down to our last 5 minutes of the show. And momentarily, Thumper will be joining in with Hyperdrive, and there he is. So he will be coming in shortly. I do see he doesn't have his producer on tape yet. He has the kitty cat showing. That's okay. All right. He's getting ready, everybody, and I'm sure that's going to be a good show. So Derek just gave us good information on there. I just dropped that link. Everybody, you have that. So tomorrow, make sure you tune in at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And I will go over that article about the Pope, and we will talk about a few other interesting things. And yes, like I said, check us out on all social media. Follow, like, share, all that good stuff. I hope you do so we can get more followers. And soon we are going to have, I'm dropping our links so you can jump over and check us out. Soon I will have a new website that we're putting together. I'm working with a team that's helping us build. We're looking at all of our programs, PSB, Common Sense Show, any of them and everybody, where we can have links and our individual shows live stream, because it takes a little bit to live stream on YouTube. You have to have 1,000 subscribers. So jump over to our YouTube channel so we can get that. And you'll be able to follow our shows, and we're going to have an umbrella where we can not be censored. We will control our material. All of us will never be censored, and we can live stream PSP and other great programs as well. So coming up soon, that'll be coming up. And I hope you enjoy that. Thumper, I see you're there. What do you got for us this evening? Getting ready to jump in there while I'm setting up our new closer.
Well, we're going to do our history of corporations show tonight, and we're going to dive into the history of corporations and how you can draw definite parallels between corporations and NGOs, and how early in the life of corporations that got started, and how it is definitely something that we are seeing in today's world as far as NGOs and how they became contractors to the government and then ended up basically taking over the government.
Wow.
Very interesting. It should be very interesting and very enlightening to people to see how what's happening now has been happening for centuries.
I'm going to have to tune in on this a little bit longer.
I think you'll find it very interesting. It's very educational as far as what we're looking at and how these crazy corporations got a hold of our governments. And it was a very long-term plan with the definite goal of subjugating the entire population of the planet, and under these evil and corrupt corporations in collusion with governments.
Wow. I'm definitely going to be tuning on this. I'll be, when I log out here, I'll keep it on while I'm doing other stuff. So
you could be amazed at what you can see from 40,000 light years.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. So everybody stay tuned for Hyperdrive. And Derek, thanks again for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Definitely loved being on here on a Saturday night. And don't forget not only to tune in to Thumper and his 100 shows that he does during the week, but also from 3 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, the Common Sense Show as well.
Hey, you guys do an awesome show. I do try to listen to it when I can, but it's at that time of the day where I'm, if I gotta go places, do things, it's.
Well, actually, what he's referring to is I always see him. He's always sleeping. So either he's had too big a lunch, or the Common Sense Show puts him to sleep. I haven't quite decided between the two yet.
Derek, it's out. It's definitely, I eat after my show, and that is a surefire way to end up in a nap. I'll guarantee.
Well, Derek, don't feel bad, because when I do my Sunday show, he disappears for a while. I don't know what he's doing. He puts the camera on his cat. We just sit there and grin. But did you see the new opener tonight, Thumper?
No, I didn't. I've been doing a lot of research on the side into some places I haven't actually looked at for quite a while. Going back to some of my old sources and stuff, and I found some really, really great stuff. So.
Well, you'll have to check it out tomorrow then when we go. But we got the new closer that I got ready, and I'll start that up before you do your show here. It's a short one. Everybody, we love you all, and we really appreciate you tuning in tonight right here on Patriot Soapbox at Your Voice, Your Call. Stay tuned for Hyperdrive. I'm looking forward to this one. I always look forward to a show. Sometimes I can't watch all the way through because I'm not his show when I fall asleep. But here in Indiana, it's midnight. So gotta get my beauty rest, can't you tell? Anyhow, we love you all. Without you, we wouldn't have a show. Tune in tomorrow at 2:00 and we'll have some fun. Thumper, you have a great show. I'm going to do my new closer. And everybody, good evening.
That must be it. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hyperdrive. And if you would please make your way aboard the aircraft, and we will be firing up the Hyperdrive engines in just a few moments here. And I want to just say thank you for joining us here tonight. And find your seats. Please stow your gear either in the overhead cabinets or underneath the seat there. And we'll wait to see if the tower is going to give us clearance and get things started. So I want to say thank you again for joining us tonight for another trip out to 40,000 light years. And with that said, let's get things rolling here. As soon as I get the right buttons clicked here. All right, there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've received clearance from the tower, and so make sure your seatbelts are buckled, and it's time to head out to 40,000 light years. 3, 2, 1.